All right, fellas, here's a freaking 70th floor view of Detroit. Here visiting the Powerhouse Gym, an absolute classic, the most classic gym I've ever been to. And you could say, hey, buddy, Eric, I thought you'd been to Gold's Venice. But Gold's Venice, fellas, is a shell of what it used to be. Meanwhile, I just entered the Powerhouse here in Detroit. And just to harp on a couple things I'm seeing here, not super impressed as I enter the building. Those first med ball machines, I've never seen anything like that for explosive ballistic med ball tosses, something along those lines. Nice little pec deck, another machine you don't see often. A lot of cookie cutter cardio equipment. You got the supplements behind the counter. That's usually a pretty good sign when they're selling the sups right at the freaking counter. It's like you want to get a shovel scoop of pre-workout before you go in here. A lot of good swag, you know. I made the mistake of buying the worst fitting tank top, though. They had a lot of good tank tops there. Apparently that's a Miss Olympia. She works out at this gym. Great tank tops there. But I, for some reason, bought this like one that fits like a lady's tank. So it shows no pectorals, no latissimus. Guys, I just want to point out how many freaking pictures there are on the wall. I don't know if you've been paying attention to this video so far, but there's maybe about, I'm not even exaggerating, I say there's got to be at least 1,000 pictures on the wall. You know, the cardio equipment, this is a waste of time, the cardio stuff. But I want you to pay attention. I want you to see the carpet on the floor. I want you to look at the carpet. I want you to look at this freaking back extension, how old, what year that back extension must have been from. Look at that carpet, stained. Look at the freaking aesthetic of the gym. Bricks, mirror, carpet, rugged, grimy mats, you know, brick freaking walls. Fellas, look at the heavy duty equipment here. Everything's just freaking black metal. You know what I'm saying? This gym here, fellas, has the aesthetic of like a basement, right? You can't replicate this environment. You know, no gyms these days, they want to be very sanitary. They want to be very clean. They want to have, you know, impeccable white drywall. They want to have, you know, like a nice, you know, very pretty matted floor, fellas. Not this. These are freaking like horse stall mats. You know what I mean? Just get the freaking horse stall mats in here. Lay some freaking bricks on the wall. Put up some pictures of, you know, the freaking bodybuilders, the Joe Schmo bodybuilders of the 70s. Look at this leg press. That's the most heavy duty leg press. I kind of wish I would have focused on some of the pieces of equipment more because there's some cool stuff, right? The donkey calf raise, just briefly skimmed right past that. There's a lot of cool machines, a lot of great leg presses. I just fly through this though because I'm so excited like a freaking kid in a candy shop. You know, I just want to see the posing room, the posing mirrors, and I want to see the freaking, you know, cartoon Franco Columbo and the bodybuilders and the freaking bird's eye view of, you know, the 1,000 machines in here. Which, let me say, machines are usually a waste of time, fellas, but when you have so many machines, like check this sucker out right here. I've never seen like a cable kind of station like this, a cable preacher curl, fellas. I've used one of these before in the past, and there's something, you know what I mean? Normally the preacher curls, it's a barbell preacher curl, or it's like a machine preacher curl. But a freaking preacher curl with a cable, fellas. Look at this overhead triceps extension cable reclining chair, okay? So you can get the maximum stretch. Like you can get so freaking big of a range of motion that you have to do a hip thrust, glute bridge just to get the weight down. But the chair reclines for you. A butt blaster, right? That's a classic machine. A standing leg curl, good. But I kind of look at this stretching station here. I've never seen anything like this. Like a tower, a power tower for stretching. Look at these deep dish plates, right? The plates are even badass and classic. You know, I want the plates. Look at this, a Carrion original, like, lateral raise machine. You don't see that anywhere. You know? Just heavy-duty stuff, fellas. But I want to use the plates like Arnold used back in the day where he was benching, you know, 315, and people were looking at it like, oh, my God, that must be 645 pounds. Look at this freaking, triceps push down deal or whatever, the triceps extension machine. I'm highlighting this because look at most of these machines, when you go heavy on them, like it's an all ab exercise. But the way that this machine is designed so that there's no room, this is a horrible angle, by the way, I apologize. But look at how it just sandwiches you in there. So it takes all of the core out, fellas. I mean, these machines usually suck, but when they're built this way, where it takes your freaking abdominals out of it, fellas, it'll hit your triceps unlike anything else, right? And I just wanted to document that for my own knowledge. Look at the freaking knurling. Look at how heavy duty this dip station is. That thing is pristine knurling. And then right next to freaking anterior tibialis machine, you know what I mean? That just shows that they're going above and beyond for every freaking single muscle group there is to train. A giant classic wood panel posing room. I had to slow this footage down because I'm going too fast. But fellas, look at this. What kind of leg press has like a harness? You know what I mean? Like for your shoulder, like a shoulder pad harness for the leg press. And then I got this cool leverage loaded preacher curl. That's a great machine. All right, you can change up the freaking leverages. You know, pretty solid. A neck machine? Are you kidding me? A 4-way neck, fellas. When you go to the gym, there's a okay. Highlighting this for a second. Is this a freaking weighted leg raise machine? That was a weighted leg raise. I've never seen one of those in my life. And this is a pretty solid, cool looking, different dip machine. And then of course, you know, you got a classic seated row in a classic design, not like the cookie cutter seated rows there are these days. And then I guess the last thing I'm highlighting here is just obviously many of attachments. But fellas, let's just rewind here for a second with the attachment. Is that a seated row on the floor? Okay. Look at I don't know what the hell. Look at how freaking long the that lat pull down handle is there, the one on the top right now. That is, you know what I mean? Like that is hardcore. That is, look at that handle compared to the other ones, how much longer it is. And fellas, that's what's missing in today's day and age of lifting and mindsets and gym equipment and stuff, is that now everything is meant to be comfortable, okay? Back in the day, when the people did the pull-ups and the lat pull-downs and stuff, they freaking practically were making a T shape with their body. You know what I mean? It's like, how wide can we go? It's like, I don't know. I mean, until my elbows are fully extended, that's how wide I want to pull down on this lat pull down. You know what I mean? So much so where it almost rendered the exercise useless because your arms were so freaking far out. But that's how extreme the mindsets were back in the day, because they didn't know any better. You know what I mean? Now we know more about biomechanics and leverages and optimal, you know, freaking optimal everything. But back in the day, it was just, you know, eat 6 pounds of hamburger meat, 36 raw eggs, go so wide with your pull-ups that your elbows were freaking locked out. You know what I mean? Just like stupid, the guillotine press. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this bench press, I don't feel as much as I feel pretty, you know, I feel it in my pecs. But what if I go freaking as wide as I can possibly go and lower it down to my neck like a guillotine? Wow, that'll really work my chest. Like, those mindsets, I just miss that mindset. You know what I mean? Where it's just extreme, it's extreme. You know what I mean? Like stuff that's like, okay, well, we don't do those exercises anymore. And it's because, you know, we know that it will tear everything and snap you up. But back in the day, it was like just freaking trial and error, and this is what the boys do. You know what I'm saying? Like that, fellas, I miss that. And this gym makes me reminiscent of that classic feel. You know what I mean? You go into this gym, it's like a time machine. You're going back to the 70s where the children are smoking cigarettes. You know, kids are eating Spam, the ham in a can Spam, and you know what I mean? You're going freaking, you know, with your bell bottoms, you're going to go to the local powerhouse and, you know, you're going to get jacked, stacked, succulent, and dense.